Joining us now, retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General Robert Spalding. He served our country for 26 years, his primary positions being a B-2 bomber pilot and a senior defense official in Beijing. He served in the Trump administration's national security strategy. General, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight, helping us out. General, what do you make of new reports Israeli commanders are angry about the delay in the invasion of Gaza?
Well, I sympathize with them. What the Hamas is doing basically is buying time to fortify, to rearm, and get prepared for this invasion. So it's not like they're negotiating in good faith. They're negotiating for a reason, and that's really to kill more Israelis eventually when they invade. So I understand they're upset, and I don't see these prisoners coming back, all of them coming back. Maybe some of them will, but what Hamas is going to do is trade that time to get ready to kill even more Israelis as they invade.
General, what do you think? These critics are saying there are mixed messages from the White House calling for a ceasefire. Then John Kirby says a ceasefire would benefit Hamas. The UK, Germany say no to a ceasefire. It seems like there's confusion and frustration over the White House's mixed messaging on this. What do you think?
Well, yeah, and it goes beyond that. You got Gavin Newsom in China supporting the Chinese to support the Iranians who support Hamas. Not only should we not be doing a ceasefire, we should actually be going after the Iranians and the Chinese for helping them. So this is much bigger than just Israel. It's much bigger than the Middle East. It started with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. You're seeing the second Cold War, and China is funding most of it.
Okay, so we've got Iran proxies attacking U.S. bases and troops in the Middle East. The Washington Post reporting the Biden White House has plans to evacuate hundreds of thousands of Americans out of the Middle East if this spreads. Now, the Pentagon says Iran, again, targeting U.S. bases in Iraq and Syria as well as troops. Tel Aviv, again, came under rocket attack from Hezbollah. So where does this go? Where is this headed? How do you stop this?
Well, I think the whole plan here is to overwhelm the Americans' ability to support all of these conflicts. So, again, it's not just about, what's happening in the Middle East. The Chinese are basically using their proxies, and don't forget, they're also, running into ships in the Philippines. And so you're starting to see a widening of this global Cold War, and what it's designed to do, I believe, is eventually bankrupt America and prevent us from actually being able to support all of our allies.
So let's get to former ambassador to Israel, Danny Danon. General, sit tight for just 1 second. Ambassador, has Biden White House policy been about appeasing Iran? From where do you sit? How do you see this? Because we have the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. He, in the past, opposed sanctioning and designating Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard as a foreign terrorist organization. Where do you see the policy here in the White House?
So, Liz, we know that everything that's happening here now in Israel, it's under the control of Iran. We can see their fingerprints all over. We see the funding of Hamas, the funding and training of Hezbollah in Lebanon. So basically, if you allow Iran to acquire more money or more weapons, it will come against us. So the end game should be Iran. We are now dealing with the proxies. We are fighting with Hamas. We will defeat Hamas after the horrible massacre they committed against our civilians, after kidnapping more than 200 people, including babies and women. But at the end, we will have to deal with Iran because they feed the hatred. Okay. They feed the violence in the region.
Ambassador, Hamas has an abduction manual to kill and kidnap the elderly, women and children, entire families in Israel. They're doing it with a predatory eagerness to kill, just as it's matched by an eagerness to disfigure and dismember. And then these Hamas terrorists, they were captured. Under interrogation, they said, Islam does not permit the killing of women and children and families. What's going on here, Ambassador?
Well, I have no expectations from them. We saw what they are capable of doing, so we don't really pay attention to what they are saying when we investigate them and interrogate them. They came with direct orders, not only to kill civilians, but to torture them, to rape women and children, And after they killed them, what they did to the bodies, we haven't shown the pictures. Horrible behavior. We never could imagine it can happen. So for us, we're fighting evil. That's why we are committed to go all the way, Liz, this time. And we will need the support of the American people because it will be hard in a few weeks. We're going to go all the way. We're going to hunt them down, and we're going to eliminate Hamas. We have no other choice.
General Spalding, Ambassador Danon, thank you so much for joining us tonight.